James and Lily are talking with each other only for the second time. Let's see how their conversation goes. You know how it is, right?
Yes, my dear, I understand it very well.
The fact is, the people don't support such campaigns until they see some proof.
You know, my dear, I think you should continue your work. I mean, you should.
So, how is Tom?
Don't know, my dear, we haven't talked in a while.
At first glance, you may feel that there is nothing wrong with this conversation, but allow me to point out the inappropriate and ineffective use of language in these sentences. The first is, um, the second is, you know, then there is overuse of my dear. Well, they are only meeting for the second time. The next is, the fact is. There is a universal statement in these sentences. The next is, I mean, er, and a slang, to know. All these things make a conversation ineffective and also creates a negative impression on the listener. In this video, I'll talk about how to use the right language in a conversation. So let's start the presentation. Well, there are 5 points that you should keep in your mind during a formal or an informal conversation to make it appropriate and effective. The first point goes, avoid too many airs, actually in sentences. Let's see some examples to clear this thing out. I think the meeting should start at 4 p.m. Let's see the next one. Online education is popular, and people like it, Well, in both these sentences, the overuse of and breaks the flow of the sentence. Let's see the third one. I'm willing to come. I want to join you. Again, the first half and the second half of the sentence nearly means the same thing. It simply confuses the listener and also makes the sentence unnecessarily lengthy. Well, it is true that these words give you the time to look for the right word to express yourself, but their excessive usage indicate a lack of self-confidence. So it's better to avoid them altogether. Now, the second point. Use feel special words only if the listener understands it. This point will be more clear to you once we see some examples. Let's see the first one. The fabrication of this furniture is easy. Well, a person who has no idea what fabrication means may try to relate this word to fabric that we use in the clothes, while this word simply means making. Again, the second example. Sir, you are suffering from pyrexia. This word simply means fever, but just hearing the word pyrexia may cause this person more medical problems than he already has. The third one. Imagine an air hostess telling to a passenger, she is a deadhead. Well, how many weird thoughts can this single word generate in an ignorant mind? However, in jargon of airplanes, the word deadhead means a flight attendant or a pilot who is traveling on a passenger seat and going for some work assignment. So, while one may think that using such word impresses the listener, the truth is it confuses him and often alienates them from us in a conversation. Now, the third point. Excessive use of endearments such as my dear, love, darling is a big no. Imagine you're meeting somebody for the first time and he says, hello, my darling, how are you? Well, the conversation has just become awkward. You may obviously think, am I his darling? Well, read the next line. Oh, my love, when you depart, my heart aches for you. This line looks like a line from Shakespeare's play. Well, it isn't. But such language is often used in theaters and plays. I personally suggest that you should use these words only if you know the person too well or have such talking terms with him or her. Otherwise, you may appear dominating or someone who is trying to be over familiar. Now, the fourth point, avoid universal truth statements. That is, those sentences that begin with the fact is, or the truth is, or has definitely in them. Let's see some examples to clear this point. The fact is that all government officials are corrupt. Well, the use of these three words, the fact is, has made this statement universal, and we have declared that all the government officials are corrupt. But it's not true. Not all the government officials are corrupt. Hence, we should avoid such usage. Let's see the second example. The truth is, nobody wants to help the poor and the needy. Again, we have declared that there is nobody on this planet who wants to help the poor and the needy. But in actual life, there might be some who want to help the poor and the needy. So, we should not use such words in a conversation. Again, he is definitely a dishonest person. In this sentence, we have directly given a certificate to a person's character by stating it clearly that this person is dishonest. But in actually, if we see all these three sentences, they are some personal opinions. So instead of using the fact is, the truth is, or definitely, one should use in my opinion or my view is that nobody wants to help the poor and the needy. Or I firmly believe that this person is dishonest. So, now the last point. Now, this point is very important. Avoid slang words with people you don't know well. Slang words are those words that are limited to some particular context or some organization or maybe some new language that is developed in a group of friends. So, such words, since it is not used in a formal or written communication, people are not much aware about it. So, we must not use slang with people who do not know them well. Let's see some examples. Last night's party was lit. Lit. Okay, you're thinking, lit. What does it mean? Well, in slang, lit simply means excellent and fun, that the party was super cool. Let's see the second example. John ghosted Roger after their last meeting. A person who has no knowledge what the word ghosted means can think of n number of possibilities that might have happened between John and Roger, though the word simply means in slang to cut off the communication. Now, the third example. You should take the trip, man. YOLO. YOLO is an acronym for You Only Live Once. But a person who has no idea what YOLO means may consider that you're talking some gibberish or may consider you immature. Well, people mostly use slang to show their allegiance to certain group or simply they show that they are very unpretentious and direct, but the truth is you may appear offensive or immature or seem to have a person who has a limited vocabulary. Now, the same thing goes for the swearing words too. One must not use swearing words in a conversation if you do not know the people very well. Well, these are the 5 points that you should keep in your mind during a conversation. Don't worry if you cannot find the right word to express yourself. It's normal for people to forget some word from time to time. You may try to explain what you're trying to say through some gesture, and people are always willing to help. They'll supply the missing word for you. A small tip that I would like to give you: improve your vocabulary. This will definitely help you to be more adaptable in a conversation, and it will also allow you to talk to a wider range of people. The best way to increase your vocabulary is reading. Read a lot. Oh, and do not forget to sit without a dictionary. Always look up for words whose meaning you don't know in a dictionary. This will help you to learn that word, its meaning, and in what context it is used. So, thank you. That's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and will keep in mind the little things that we discussed in this video. If you have any queries, feel free to comment in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to answer them. Also, follow us on social media to get the daily word of the day and the other weekly specials. This will also help you to grow and improve the way you read, write, and speak in English. Stay tuned to our channel, The English Monkey. Take care.